Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Murray and I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of The Gift of Giving. For those tuning in for the first time, this is the program that focuses on the foundations, non-profits and 501c3s here in the state of Nevada. The guests are people who are working in the trenches, making our world a brighter and better place. And today we would like to welcome two individuals who work for the Hospitality Charitable Foundation. We have Melissa Arias, who's the Executive Director, and we've got Claire Cudahy, who is one of the students and beneficiaries of this charitable foundation. So welcome to you both, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So, always love talking about food and hospitality
Right?
and what have you. So, Melissa, let's start with you. Could you please give us a brief overview of the organization and when it was founded?
Absolutely. So the organization was founded in 2001, and it was really just a old boys club, a food and beverage club, where different food and beverage executives got together and they talked about best practices. And that's when they realized they had a lot of powerful people in the room, and they should really be doing something more than just eating well and drinking really well. And so they said, you know what, let's start to give back. People, when it comes to where they got today, everyone had someone who helped them get there. Everyone had a mentor. So they decided, not only are we going to give full ride scholarships, but we're going to mentor them so that they can one day take over our positions. And so that's really our mission, is to take young people and give them the opportunity to develop not just their academic skills, but their professional and soft skills to really exceed and move up the ladder in the hospitality industry.
Gotcha. And what made you join the organization into this boys club?
So it's
And
really
become executive director,
right.
no less.
Well, we've actually put a really strong emphasis on diversifying the board, because it is really important that the board represents our students and represents the people who are actually being served and going into the industry. It's important for them to see different nationalities, different genders, moms, single people, so that they can really realize that you can have it all and become anything, no matter what your direction of life is. So, and everyone knows I've been pregnant for every single menus. I've been 9 months pregnant. I had a 2-week-old baby. So I've been around for quite some time. But I became a part of this organization because I believed in it. I believed in the students. And it's an organization in which you see where your dollar goes. That check doesn't go to a national office, or you don't write a check and not know the outcome. We are actually seeing proven results by the funds we're raising.
Gotcha.
And I believe that education is the key to changing the world. And I think in Nevada we know how important it is to work on our education system. So we're actually looking at where we need to bridge the gaps to make these students truly successful.
Very worthy goals for joining the
Thank you.
operation and helping out. So now, originally you were called the Epicurean Charitable
Yes.
Foundation, and now you've changed to Hospitality Charitable Foundation.
Correct.
What prompted this change?
So it's very recent that we actually started this. We released in March, but it's been a long time coming. When you look at UNLV, the college is the School of Hospitality. We're not just a food-centered organization. And a lot of our students, they think, okay, there's food. Well, you can be a chef or a restaurant owner. No, there's so many more opportunities in the hospitality industry. It could be events or hotels, or even purchasing is really important in hospitality. You need to know how many each egg costs if you're going to own a restaurant. So we take mentors in from all the different industries, and students like Claire get a different mentor each year for their the 4 years of their college education, so they can see the different facets. And when they graduate, they really have a better understanding of maybe not the exact job, but the direction they want to go.
Gotcha. We're going to talk a little bit about mentorship later on in this program, but right now we're going to show a little clipping of that you sent, and a lot of it's still got Epicurean Charitable Foundation in, but it's just a legacy program.
It
So
is.
let's turn around and have a
Yes,
little
sir.
look at this.
Epicurean Charitable Foundation enriches the lives of deserving local students passionate about a career in hospitality or culinary arts through unparalleled mentoring, professional guidance, and leadership development. Epicurean Charitable Foundation's board is made up of 25 executives from the Las Vegas hospitality industry. The These executives give our students unique one-on-one mentoring, networking opportunities, leadership guidance, and etiquette development that they'll need as they enter leadership positions in our industry. At ECF, we're not just giving a few hours a month, we're changing the trajectory of young people's lives.
Tonight is our largest gala of the year. This is where we raise the majority of our money to put through our students through UNLV with the 4-year scholarship.
It is going to be a really great night. We have 30 restaurants and 20 bars, some amazing sponsors, and some of the best silent auction items you ever can bid on. We have everything from Silverado Steakhouse to Hugo's, to Beauty in Essex, Tao, and Lavo. It's going to be a really delectable and delicious night. Tell me about why you work so hard.
I work hard because these kids deserve everything that we can afford to give them. They're the future of this town. They are the succession of people like myself. Look at the color of my hair. I'm not going to be doing this forever. These students are going to be taking over Vegas and running the greatest hospitality town in the United States.
Okay, that was quite some clipping there.
Thank you.
We are the hospitality capital of the USA, I would say, or some would say, if not the world.
Agreed.
We really are way ahead. And it looked like there was something in that clipping, that there was some big event that was being held at the end of that clipping. Is this an event that happens every year, and what is it? Is it open to the public, or?
It is our
It's not?
annual fundraiser. It is a giant event where we take 25 of the top restaurants in Las Vegas and 25 of the different brands of wine, spirits, and beer and bring them out onto one event deck, and that's where we raise the primary bulk of our funds for scholarships and funding
Gotcha.
students like Claire. It is such a grand event. We do it at different locations. It will be back at the Sahara again this year, and the best part of this event is that the students are actually the ones who are helping plan it. And they are the ones who are helping with decor and logistics and restaurants and silent auction. So by the time they graduate, they have helped run in escalating responsibility 4 of the biggest events of the Las Vegas
Oh, boy.
hospitality industry. Yeah.
A lot of responsibility.
Yes, but it's not only on-the-job training, but it's on-the-job experience, and you can't beat that experience. I mean, that's
Exactly.
perfect.
We try to find that
opportunity.
education and experience go hand in hand, and we try to make sure that they get both.
Yeah. The gentleman in that interview said that these students, they are the future of Las Vegas.
They
and
are.
the hospitality. So it's really nice that they're doing their best to give grants to students that have got a passion for the entertainment
Well, and if I may
industry.
say, I'm super just proud of all of our students, but because we are a relatively young organization, having founded in 2001 and funded our first scholarship in 2003, we are finally seeing it come full circle, where our
Yes.
graduates are joining our board. So it really is, we are really bringing up the next generation of leaders of the
Yes.
hospitality industry.
Wow, that's amazing. They got awards and now they're on the board.
Oh,
They-
it's-
yes, as
we're
you said,
very
come
proud.
full circle. Yes, that's amazing. Now, how do you choose who gets the awards, and how many do you give out, and do the amounts vary? Tell us a little bit about the awards themselves and the process.
Yes. So the scholarships open in September, and then they close January 31st of every year. And what we do is we go out to all of the different magnet schools, which have hospitality and culinary programs, as well as post to PEF to all Clark County students, because you have to be a resident of Clark County to apply for a scholarship,
Okay, gotcha.
as well as current UNLV students. And we give them a very arduous interview process where we are not just giving them very easy questions where you might get at an entry-level job, but we are grilling them. What do you want to do in life? Tell us your plan. What's your 5-year plan? Paint us the steps to get there. And these students are really, really, really passionate and knowledgeable. And we're not just looking for that student who's good on paper. We're looking for someone that we think have the characteristics to go on to greatness. And that's the really exciting part. And it's very American Idol style, where we start with the big group and we narrow it down. And you're sitting in front of these board of directors that are executives that would intimidate me. And students like Claire and the rest of our students sit down and they nail these interviews. And then We do give them a little surprise where they think they're interviewing, and we actually give them their full ride scholarship. Yes.
I think we're going to see a little bit of that later on in this
I think we
program
might.
too. So, and let's just talk a little bit more about the mentorship before we go to a break. So if you could just elaborate a little bit more on the mentorship aspect of your
So
program.
that's actually my favorite part. I don't know if you know this, but currently, of those students from CCSD that go to college, only 12% graduate in 4 years. It's massively low. And I attribute it to our mentoring program that we have an 85% 4-year success rate at a minimum 3.0 GPA. We give them every tool, thank you, that they need to succeed. And we take them with their mentors. And they have just first line contact with these executives who show them back of the house tours, give them different experiences, really show them what the hospitality industry holds for them. And they learn everything from business etiquette to how to write a thank you note to how to pick up the phone and make a sales call. Those are things that we really can't teach. You have to experience it to understand it.
Yes.
And so that by the time they graduate with us, they have worked the hardest job they will ever have. They are picking up the phone and making calls to donors and to board members and to sponsors, and they are hand delivering VIP invitations, following up. They aren't just enjoying the event, they're working the event. They all get business cards and they're walking around handing them out to different executives, following up and scheduling meetings. People are really happy to open their doors to students because they know when you have the HCF seal of approval that you have a truly exceptional young person coming to your door.
Well, and right now, people are finding it hard to get people to work, period. So getting somebody that's really passionate about what they're doing, that's like icing on the cake.
We make sure that we hold them to the highest of standards. So
There you
even
go.
when we go to interviews like this, I don't feel like I need to brief Claire or prep with her, because if she can handle an HCF interview and 4 years with us, she can come down here and I know she's going to do great.
Well, don't think you're off the hook, because you're going to be in the hot seat right after we take this little brief sponsorship break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
At Lucia Capital Group, we've been helping people manage risk and plan for their future through some of the most challenging market conditions. Volatility in the stock market will never go away, so it's really all about your strategy and how you react to it. Our bucket strategy aims to help you manage your financial goals even during the most uncertain times. I'm Joshua Dowden. I've been working with clients here for more than 16 years, and I can help you as well. My office is right here in the heart of Summerlin, just north of Charleston Boulevard. Don't let the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Call me today for a free consultation. 702-508-6421. That's 702-508-6421.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'd like to thank Joshua Dunn from Lucia Capital Group for being a sponsor for this program. And for all you corporations out there or individuals that would like to have your 401k re-examined, please reach out to Joshua Dowden at Lucia Capital Group. He's the one to help you out. And welcome back, Melissa and Claire. And Claire, your turn to be in the hot seat.
I'm ready.
So, good. Ready, willing, and able, I'll bet.
Of course.
So, first of all, when did you discover your passion for the hospitality industry? What was it that triggered you to go in that direction?
In high school. So I was in the culinary program accompanied with hospitality, and I went into it being I want to be an executive chef, and I didn't want to be in front of house at all. And then I realized that I'm really good at talking to people, and I have the face for it, you know? So I took a hospitality class, and I realized this is what I want to do. This is what I'm good at. Maybe I am good at baking a cake, but I'm also good at having a conversation and things like that. So I realized that maybe this is the route that I should go down. And when I discovered the Epicurean Charitable Foundation, now hospitality, I was like, wow, this is something that I should definitely apply for. And high school, just because of that, is what ignited my passion for it.
Gotcha. And that leads right into my next question. How did you hear about the foundation?
I attribute this to my high school counselor, Miss Kelly. She realized that not many students get the scholarship because it's so competitive. And we only had one graduate at that time who had gotten the scholarship from Southwest Career and Technical Academy. And so she decided that some of us students should really try for it. And she knew that I had the drive for it. And so she said, apply to the scholarship on the PEF, Public Education Foundation, and just go for it. And she was with us every step of the way as well.
Gotcha. And you said you originally were thinking about being a chef, and then you realized that you like talking and communicating with people. So you're branching out. Have you decided finally where you're going to land up, or are you still in that decision-making process?
This is usually the toughest question I get. I got this a lot during the interviews because I was the one student who didn't know what they wanted to do. And unfortunately, I'm still in that boat, but it's hospitality. There's so many different routes to go down. I could do HR, I could do gaming, hotel management, food and beverage. All of it interests me, so I don't necessarily have a path I'm going down. I think I am leaning more towards event design and things like that because I've gotten the first-hand experience from planning these events. And I've realized that that's probably the route I'm going to go down.
Now, how difficult was the application process for you?
Very grueling and scary, yes. So there were 4 interviews. First one was just at the office. It was just her and Chris, the other member of the organization. And that interview alone was scary. And it was a 6-minute interview, short and sweet. And then they took it up a notch, and all of a sudden we were at Caesars and the Cosmopolitan and things like that, and that took a bit of a turn for me. I was very nervous, sweating before every interview, and it's just imagine you at the end of a long table of executives, and at our last interview I had a microphone on me because the room was so big. So imagine that thought going through your head into every interview, like, oh my gosh, if I don't make this, I'm done for, you know what I mean? At 17, I was so nervous. But now looking back on it, I'm so glad that we had to go through that process because now I feel like I can nail any interview that I go into because of how difficult it was.
Well, we have a little clipping of some students in the interview process, and then it's followed by them being notified that they've actually received this award. And you are one of the students in this. Yes. And I know it's a couple of years ago, it's got Epicurean Charitable Foundation in it, but it doesn't vitiate, what you actually went through and what you're accomplishing. Yes. So let's turn around and take a little look.
Good afternoon, it's good to be here.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
How are you? I don't let hardships get in the way of me accomplishing the things that I need to do because it's not just my dreams that are at stake, it's the dreams of my parents and the things that they have sacrificed to be in this country for me to be here and be following my dreams.
I'm very hardworking, I have great work ethics, and I'm very passionate about this industry.
And I also kept up straight A's throughout everything, make sure everyone I talk to understands my passion along with my determination.
I love hospitality because the industry is so large and so grand. I feel like there's a lot I could do just because it's so broad. I love meeting new people. I love networking, and I feel like, again, that's a huge part of hospitality.
I feel like I have had the determination to succeed this whole time, and I feel like I've been motivated. And then with the Epicurean Foundation, it has really encouraged me to push beyond that, and I feel like it's been a big motivator for me.
Wow. Well, that was an interesting clipping. And Claire, you were able to talk when, before you realized you were getting the award. Once you were notified, you just went, and it looked like you were rendered speechless.
That is the perfect description of it, yes.
Someone who's saying, I can talk easily, for once in your life you were rendered speechless.
Yes.
So now looking back, can you remember what was going through your mind at that time?
Yes, I can.
You heard the news?
So I think I was one of the few students who actually had their parent with them, and my mom went with me to all the interviews. And so I didn't realize I got the scholarship when they told me, oh, what would you do if you got the scholarship? And it didn't really click for me at first, and then all of a sudden they were like, call your mom. And I was like, why? Why do I need to call her? And they were like, because you got it. And then that's when I realized, and it was kind of like my heart sank, and I was like, wow, like all this work was worth it. Every single process that I went through, I finally got the scholarship. It was such a relief, and I was so happy for the journey ahead of me, and I'm just so glad that I had to go through all of that, honestly.
And you mentioned journey, because my next question is going to be, what difference has the scholarship made on your journey? What impact has it had?
A world of difference. I think I can speak for a lot of students where most of us didn't think we were going to go to college because of the cost. A lot of us could not afford it just because of how expensive it is. My original plan was to go to a 2-year college and get my associates and see if I had enough money to go from there, but I didn't have to worry about that at all. And because I haven't had to worry about the financial aspect of college, I'm able to focus more on my grades, my job, and because of that, everything else has just flourished. So.
Wow. And let me ask this to you, Melissa. Do you take household income into account when you're giving out these awards?
We do.
You do?
So we definitely look for that young person who probably hasn't been given much as far as opportunities. And so we do look for a max family income of about $70,000, but typically our students have an income much lower than that. Our average family income is about $32,000. And really, it's because we want to make the most difference.
Sure.
We don't just want to put our seal of approval on someone who already has the resources it takes to be successful, but we want to take students who might have had to work and made that hard choice of whether they were going to work or go to school, and say, you don't have to worry about that barrier. We're going to remove all barriers. We're going to pay for your books, your fees, your tuition. You're going to take a geology class. We're going to pay for the rocks. You need a tutor. We'll get you the tutor or help you find a peer tutor. And one of the most important things, in my opinion, and I say this again and again in our organization, is the network it creates.
Sure.
Because in Vegas, that network is incredibly important.
Yes.
And I always say it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And now their peers are the people they're going to be moving up the ladder with. And so they get this great cohort of friends as well.
To add on top of that, because of the mentors that I've had, I now have a full-time job that I love to have. And because
where is that full-time job?
It is at the South Point Hotel and Casino because of my past mentor, Michael Kennedy. I still think of him as a mentor. I see him all the time. And again, that's just one connection. And because of him, I've had so many more that he's introduced me to. So again, it's not about who you know. It's about who knows you.
So you're already out of college?
I'm still in college.
Oh, you're still in college?
Yes, I have 1 more year to go.
Okay, and you have a job as well?
Yes.
When do you find time to study?
Oh, I make time. You best believe
time?
it, yes. When you come from a family of teachers, you always value education. So I always make sure my grades are the best they can be. So
I was going to ask you where you were going to look for a job when you did graduate. Do you plan on staying with South Point or just wait and see how things pan out?
I think I'm going to wait and see. I think more opportunities are going to come to me once I graduate. That way I won't have the scheduling issue. That's my main issue right now. South Point is willing to work around my school schedule, which I'm incredibly grateful for. But once I get out of school, I have more opportunities come to me because I won't have to worry about the scheduling issues of going to school.
And think about it like this. When they graduate, we have 25 board members of different executives fighting over who's going to get to give them the interview. Because we don't get them the job, they get themselves the job. But we help them find the interview. And when they hear Claire's about to graduate, all of them are, I've got this opportunity. We would love to have Claire. And they're fighting over who is going to give her the best offer, which is pretty cool.
Yes. That's great. What suggestions, if we have some students watching this program right now who are interested in, that there might be high school graduates thinking of going to college and entering into the hospitality industry, what suggestions do you have or advice would you like to give based on your own personal experience, and how would you suggest they reach out to the hospitality?
I would say don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of people are afraid to do that. Myself, I was before, but now that I have the connections, not as much. And don't be afraid to apply. The grueling process of interviews is one thing that deters people from applying, as well as the long list of requirements that you may need. But even if you don't meet all those requirements, still try to apply. You know, there's always a chance that something will happen. So always ask for help and don't be afraid to apply. My top 2 things for sure.
Great. That's great advice and great suggestions. And we're going to take another little sponsorship break now, and then we'll be right back. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments. Stay with us.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for staying with us, and welcome back,
Thank you.
Melissa and Claire. And I'd like to thank our sponsor, Pacific Coast Capital, for their support of this program. If you're a business who's having cash flow issues, reach out to them, they'll help you out. So, the organization itself, do you have paid staff as well as volunteers, or a mixture of both?
So we are a staff of 2.
Oh, my.
Which is very minimal considering the breadth of work that we do. And so everything is actually done alongside just myself and our Director of Operations, Christopher, with our amazing board, our associate board, our graduates, and our students. So we really all come together to make everything happen.
Okay, that's great. And how about donations? How do you guys get funded?
So obviously you saw our event, and that raised the primary bulk of our funds. Our students put on this amazing event called Strikes for Scholarship every year. Claire is actually the event lead. Am I giving you the right title?
Yes.
For it this year. And that's a really exciting event. We're going to change locations this year and have it at
Sunset
Station. And they raise enough funds to bring another student in to the foundation at this point.
Amazing.
Yes, completely student ran. And so people can get involved by being a part of that organization. We do a super cool raffle that actually every prize is in a balloon. Everybody buys a balloon. You pop a balloon, every balloon has a prize in it. And so that one's super fun.
Yes.
And when's that event being held?
It is going to be August 25th, the last Sunday in August of this year.
And is it on the website?
It is, yes.
Cool. And it's there already?
It should be.
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's August the 25th.
Yes.
And when's the other event, the annual event that you have?
So we are locking down a date actually as we speak. It will either be the last 2 Fridays of September or the first 2 of October back at Sahara, Las Vegas.
Okay, so we've got 2 at Sahara and 1 at Sunset. Yes. Boy, some nice events coming up.
Thank you.
Something there for foodies. I'm sure they're going to be great events.
Oh, yes, you'll eat very, very well at our events.
Please reach out and let the viewers know, where is your website and your phone number?
Absolutely. So our website is www.hcflv.org, like Hospitality Charitable Foundation Las Vegas, but just the letters. And our phone number is 702-932-5098.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
And I hope that anybody who's out there watching that knows of anybody who would like to volunteer for this organization, donate to it, or any students who are interested in going into the foundation or applying for a scholarship, please share this interview with them. I'm sure it would be appreciated.
Very much. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank both of you for coming on the program today. Melissa, thank you so much for what you're doing for being here today. And Claire, congratulations on where you're going. Congratulations on getting the scholarship. And we look forward to seeing you in the hospitality industry throughout Las Vegas in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for both for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
And I'd like to thank our show's producer, John Stiles, and station owner for allowing me to host this program and for producing it. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Pacific Coast Capital and Lucia Capital Group, and RJ Champion, whose message you'll hear at the end of this program. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me, Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. I'd love to hear from you. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in. Hope you found this program enjoyable, entertaining, and informative. And I hope you will join us again next week. In the meantime, please stay safe, be kind to one another. Goodbye.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.